innovations.
In the book, the Scarecrow is only 2 days old, but knows well enough that he's lesser than the man who built him. One particularly intelligent crow tells him that brains are the only thing worth having in this world. If he can get that, then he'll be as good as most men, and even better than some.
The most we get, give him one.
But in the book, the Tin Man is particularly concerned with the emotion of love. For you see, he was once a woodsman in love with a Munchkin girl, but the Wicked Witch cursed his axe so that over time he gradually lopped off his limbs, torso, and ultimately his head with every swing. A local replaced his missing flesh with tin, but was unable to recreate his heart. So if the wizard can give him a new heart, he'll be able to marry his true love.
Sasha and her friends are staying for the big match.
And the central location.
At Leonardo Hotels, if it's important to you, it's important to us. Book now.
Explosive. Fresh. Domino's Ultimate Gunpowder Chicken. Part of the Ultimate
But in the book, these perils are purely environmental. The literary land of Oz is generally more dangerous and violent than the movie counterpart.
One detail.
The book requires everyone in the city to wear emerald-colored glasses in an egregious case of fashion fascism. And while Book Dorothy is easily granted access to the reclusive wizard thanks to the Good Witch's protection charm, the Wicked Witch from the book first sends bees, crows, and wolves, all of which end up being murdered. Damn. It's only then she sends the flying monkeys, who are not the pets depicted in the film, but instead a cursed group of beings bound to a magic hat and forced to carry out three... The confrontation in the book puts the full burden of the situation on Dorothy's shoulders. The flying monkeys knock Scarecrow and the Tin Man out of the game by dropping them from a great height. The lion is left chained in a dungeon while Dorothy is subjected to housework, till she snaps and throws her mop water on the witch out of frustration.
The wizard turns out to be a sham, a shyster, a pettifogger, an old humbug from the heart of Kansas, a real son of a... But Dorothy and her friends refuse to let him off the hook, so he does his best to grant their wishes anyway. In the movie, he presents the Scarecrow with a university degree, the Lion with a medal for bravery, and the Tin Man with a testimonial token of affection.
The wizard in the book is much more arts and crafts. He makes the Scarecrow a brain out of a mixture of bran, pins, and needles. For the Tin Man, he installs a heart made of silk and stuffed with sawdust. And for the lion, a bottle of liquid courage. Oh,
Magically appears.
in the book, Dorothy must travel a great distance to reach her. So for the next few chapters, Dorothy and her friends weave through frightening and foreign lands, armed with nothing but their brains, their hearts, and their courage, and an axe, and a group of flying monkeys. Yeah, of course you put the hat on. It's so pretty.
In both,
But since Book Dorothy never wanted to leave Kansas to begin with, she had to learn self-reliance. It's by taking matters into her own hands that she finds Glinda, who tells her the secret power of the Silver Slippers. By the end, Dorothy makes it back home. Auntie Em and Uncle Henry are elated to find Dorothy alive after all this time, although I imagine there would be little time to celebrate since they're busy rebuilding their house.
that's the end of our Yellow Brick Roads. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for more What's the Difference right here in the merry old land of Cinefix.